feel me?
My gift.
Just know it's expensive, baby girl. And I had to do what I had to do. Huh?
Can I open my gift, like?
Yeah, but then you ain't gonna let me talk? Dang, this a big step for me. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, that was a lot of work. You hear me? A lot of work, because I could have did anything else. But I decided to do that. You feel me? Okay. Hey, go ahead. Go on. That's why I record. You feel me? I had to show you off. You hear me? Yeah, you know that rapping. On my soul.
Daniel, what's this?
So ain't no gift cards.
What is this? You always doing
It's a Chanel ribbon with some folders on it. What's up? I want to check it out, baby girl.
Daniel, what is this?
I want to check it out. You gonna love it. You gonna love it. On my soul. You know the vibes already.
It's the gas bill.
Yeah, you should know already. That's the gas bill. What it say? You gotta open it. You gotta open it, baby girl. You capping.
It just says paid.
Exactly. Now open up that light bill right there and that cable bill. Open up all that. Guess what it's gonna say? Guess what it's gonna say? Condo. What it's gonna say? Paid. You worry about the wrong stuff, baby girl. You want this stuff, and you got stuff you gotta handle. You feel me? We need things paid for. How you want this bed? Cause ain't nothing paid for. You still paying on your car. You still need assistance, and you want a Chanel bag? Girl, you better chill on my soul. Cause at the end of the day, don't get mad at me. Why you doing it now?
All right, Daniel.
So you have to be big mad like that?
All right.
Cause at the end of the day, you get Chanel bag, but you gonna be living on the streets? That $2,000, you feel me, bag ain't gonna get you nowhere to live. That's why I say you gotta be cool. Come on, man. Them bills paid for. Guess what? Now we can live. On my soul. Yeah, I know it's all right. It's gonna be all right. Matter of fact, look up a job. That's what you need to be looking up. Job near me. That's what you need to be looking up.
Could you move?
All right, family. So I'm going to deal with this video too. I'm seeing in the comments, a lot of people going in on her, saying that she is immature. She has low value because, of course, she was expecting a bag. But I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, what I see. I see a teachable moment that was clearly missed by her king, okay? In this moment, he could have simply educated her on how important it is that they do cover those bills and get themselves out of debt before they splurge. You understand? I said something yesterday that a lot of people have asked me about again in my inbox. I talked about intellectual capacity versus emotional intellectual capacity and how we're taught intellectual capacity, or we're graded on our intellectual capacity in school, but we're not taught emotional intellectual capacity. And that is what takes you, that's what you're going to have to deal with in your life. Regardless of what you learn in school, regardless of what type of job or career that you're into, it's that emotional immaturity or that emotional intellectual capacity that's going to really affect you. And this is a good way that you can teach it. Instant gratification, family. There are going to be moments where you're going to want to feel good. And a lot of times feeling good comes with a purchase. And we're taught this early in life. Our parents a lot of times teach this to us. We had a bad day. They buy us something. They take us out for ice cream. And that begins to be how they make us feel better, by buying us something. I did it with my grandbaby, the other day. As I was leaving out, she began to cry. And I said, I promise you, I'm going to bring you back a toy. And I literally forgot and felt bad. But I had to think about this, what am I going to be doing if I continue to do this and be this way? She's going to always expect something every time that she doesn't get her way. You see what I'm saying? And that's not wise to raise our children that way, because it creates adults that seek instant gratification. You understand? If things are not happy in your life, you don't got that promotion, you're not making the money that you want to make. A lot of times you're going to seek ways to make yourself happy. And that would actually dig a hole deeper for yourself, especially when you're in debt and literally barely keeping your head above water. In this case, he built her hopes up. He handed her a Chanel bag, and inside of the Chanel bag was not a Chanel bag. Instead, it was just the paid bills. And so that's what I see here. I see that she's upset because she's let down. He literally did play with her. You see what I'm saying? In this instance, again, he could have stepped to her, told her exactly what he did and why it's important that they cover those things before they start looking to anything like, bags and things of that nature, Now, if he did come to her and have the conversation with her that, look, I can't get that bag right now, or I'm not going to purchase that bag right now because I'm going to pay off these things. And that's more important that we do that now. And it's more important that we have some money in the bank rather than going and buying a bag right now. So I'm not going to buy that bag right now. You know, if she couldn't handle that, then I would say that that is a sign of low value, because a man should not want to have a woman who can't be happy if she's not being purchased all of these gifts, all of these things and foreign name brands and, you know, things that they tell us that we should want on TV, building up that unhappiness that we have because we don't have these things. Again, we should learn to be content with having our bills paid and then know and goal ourselves to accomplish certain things, even if it means buying things like this. A lot of you guys are going to say, I would never spend that type of money on a bag, and that's fine for you, but some people would. I just say that those things should come once you get out of debt. A lot of times we don't do that. We be in debt and we buy all these things and never pay our bills because we're looking to be appreciated or accepted by our peers. And that's really just weird when it comes to just getting your own situation taken care of and getting yourself out of hot water or out of debt. You know what I mean? And so in this situation, again, I see this as someone picking on another person. You know, I saw somebody in the comments say that these two people are comedians, or she's at least a comedian, and this is a skit video. But again, I'm going to review the video as if it's real. And so if this were happening in real life, I would say that that man is picking on her. Like he's pestering her at this point, because I wouldn't want my lady to put paid bills in a package that I thought was a gift for me and hand it to me as if I got that actual gift, and then only for me to open it and see that there were paid bills. I'm a mature person. I wouldn't want to be treated like that, especially being on camera. You probably would get negative behavior out of me. I would tell you that that's not right. I feel like you're trying to play with my head. You could have just told me that you're going to pay some bills off, or that you didn't have the money to buy these things and that you felt like what you're doing is enough and I should be happy with that. You understand? In this situation, like I said, it's like she's being painted as the immature person, but really he's the immature person. You know, and I've seen this a lot. Men do these videos where they dress it up and act like they got all these gifts for their significant other. And then it's actually not gifts. It's just proof that he paid the bills. And he'll be like rubbing it in her face that he paid the bills. I always see that as you're just pestering her, because there's a better way to present that. You don't have to wrap up bills in gift form and give them to another person and expect them to handle that well. Like they're just going to be, oh, okay, I get it. No, they're going to be offended that you played with them like that. You got their hopes up. You see what I'm saying? So in this case, I don't see this woman as a bad woman. She was like, okay, I get it. I get your point. Dang. She understood, and she probably would have understood a whole lot better if he had just simply behaved like a husband or a king or a leader and educated her on this, like a leader should, like a husband should, like a king should, not play games with someone like a child. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, family, I encourage you, men, and educate your ladies. Don't play with her head. And if you do play with her head and she begins to act out like this, it's probably because of the games you're playing and not because you went about it in a mature way. You understand? But again, we should all learn to practice that emotional, intellectual, or practice things that add to our emotional, intellectual capacity, because it's a lot of times that we're not thinking clearly and we buy these things because they make us feel good emotionally, but it's not very intellectual when we do that. And a lot of times that's what's holding you back. A lot of you guys will look at your life and you'll say, like at the end of the year, you'll look at how much money you made, and then you'll say, well, I made decent money. But then you will look at all the money that you spent on foolish things. You see what I'm saying? In the same way that, of course, he's showing this to the lady, men do this, spend the money on themselves and get to the end of that year and regret all the money that they spent. I did that one year. My first year, I made 100 bands. I didn't have anything to show for it and never even realized I was making that much money because I had a watch fetish. Every time I got paid, I was buying a new watch. You see what I'm saying? A Michael Kors watch, a Geneva, a Fossil, a Rolex. I'm doing all these things and buying all these watches, had a closet full of watches and no money to show for it by the end of the year. Bunch of shoes in the closet as well. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of that year, I realized I'm not going to do that anymore because it made me feel bad to see all the money that I squandered that year. You see what I'm saying? I never did that again, truthfully. I actually never did that again, but I did it before. So I do know what it's like. And you don't see it when you're doing it because you're being happy. You're treating yourself, you say. You're buying yourself these gifts, but you don't realize you're keeping yourself from your future goals, which is being debt free, which is owning your own home, having a high credit score, all those types of things that you could be putting that money towards. But instead, you're focusing on things that makes you look good today and makes you only appeal to your friends like you got money. Just appear like you have money. You don't have money. You have the money on you. And when you think about it, how weird is that to give up $3,000 for a $3,000 bag, but not have any money to put in it? How weird is it to give up $800 on a belt and then not have any money in your wallet, but you got this belt on? You see what I'm saying? It makes more sense to buy a belt that holds your pants up and keep that money in your wallet and put that money towards something of use. And once you get out of debt, then you can do those things. But typically that would come later in life. And a lot of people are just not willing to wait till that. So they need to self-gratify right now, you see? And a lot of times that's what keeps you in debt, honestly. So again, emotional maturity is something that we must practice. And doing things like this, learning to structure your life, learning to take your time would actually build your emotional intelligence. You understand? And so that's something that we all should be able to do. All right. That's it, family. Be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it is in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace.